Hello everyone, welcome back to our next live stream. Today we find ourselves in Ethiopia, just north of the Blue Nile. The aircraft of choice today is none other than the Junkers 52. This came out 3 weeks ago for Microsoft. I've been playing with it quite a bit recently, and I'm actually really tickled with it because it can hold a reasonable amount of weight, and it actually has decent performance. The one thing I'm not thrilled about it, though, is it doesn't have a lot of modern avionics, so unfortunately our little flight here is going to be interesting. Taking a look real quickly, I can see we have a great collection of folks who are going to be following us, including a couple of Junkers as well. Hopefully we're taking the 1939 model here because this one's going to be, I don't know, more fun. Oh, that's a problem. Let's go ahead and pull those things back. So I'm skipping the startup procedure. I got a fun video for that. And like I said, we're pretty much ready to go. Just about time. We are actually on VATSIM today, believe it or not. I've just connected up onto the server. All I need to do now is flip over to the correct radio frequency, and then we'll go ahead and kind of give everybody a quick little heads up that we're on our way. Notice the radio on this thing goes by 0.01s rather. I just find that so interesting. So interesting. So we're sitting here. This is Lalibela. This is Hotel Alpha Lima Lima. Like I said, we're basically in northwest Ethiopia. Today we're going to be flying along these gorgeous mountains. There's a huge plateau we got to go over. We're going to see some giraffes, we're going to see some elephants, and we're going to try to do a nice 2-point landing with this thing when we get down to the end. Total flight time today is looking at about 43 minutes, 44 minutes, depending on how difficult it is. We are in the East USA. East USA. All right, let's go ahead and kick things off by making a quick little VATSIM call. Again, if you'd like to go ahead and join in with this one, there is no air traffic control anywhere nearby, so you don't have to worry about it too much as far as dealing with pesky ATC. But we still have to go ahead and kind of call this. Oh, I got a please wait, I'm coming in. All right, I will taxi very slowly up to the control area. All right, this thing is like, oh man, I love it. It's like, oh man, look at the, looks like somebody stole it out of the chairs. All right, let's go. All right, somebody's asking us what airport we have. This is Lalibella. It's Hall. If you search for Hall, you'll never find it. All right, let's get going. Going to go ahead and flip on my mode C, even though I don't actually have a transponder in this aircraft. All right, give it just a tiny bit. There we go. There it is. All right. Lalibella traffic. Red 64 is taxiing to the active. All right, let's get going. I'm not going to get ripping up into the air. Departure and arrival is a little complicated because we're going to be doing a little bit of sightseeing on the way today. Like I said, I'm just going to confirm that there's no traffic on either side. Again, I am on VATSIM, but all I have to do is do my regular local calls. So I'm just going to confirm nobody's blocking my line of sight here. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Lalibella traffic. Red 64 is back taxi 28 Lalibella. All right, let's get on our way. This is so cool because we're basically going to back taxi, and I kind of swung over the other direction there. Oh boy. Man, this thing is like flying a house. I love it. Now, one thing I can't get a kick out of enough is they look like they got this thing out of one of those old, Zeppelins or dirigibles or something. That's like giant wooden wheel. It's just, it's so crazy. I also love the fact that your oil gauge is mounted externally and that your fuel gauge is also mounted externally, but it's literally impossible to read because of the little heat coming out of the back of the exhaust there. Oh boy. All right. Get us this way. We don't need nearly as much runway. I think there's some bugs with the flight model in this aircraft. I don't think it's supposed to have quite as good performance as they demonstrated to be having, but not complaining. Not complaining at all. Get this thing brumbly down the runway here. This is already a beautiful country, and we haven't even seen the coolest parts. Oh, look at that. They give you the little knuckle here, so you can quickly do the little turnaround. Of course, being as wide as we are, it's going to be kind of difficult to turn around in that distance. But hey, I'm going to try it if I can. Just want to imagine how loud this plane is, given that the outside of it is all corrugated metal. Hold that brake. Oh, boy. A little bit of right brake. Give it the old squeeze. Come on, can we do it? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. I don't know if this is going to work. Come on, baby. You can do it. You can do it. I'm trying. Oh, no. Get my ground handling crew out here ASAP. All right, we're going to line ourselves back up. Oh, we just made it. Oh, that could have been terrible. It looks like we're being joined by a bunch of smaller aircraft. Cirrus would be a great choice for this one. If you want to do the Beach 36, that would be a great choice for this one. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way of Lafarog here. Excuse me, sir. Whoop, I guess we're going to be cutting each other off, so I'm just going to let him go right through. But I've got my blinker on. He should let me in. The largest conglomeration of Junkers, I should say Junkers ever. Again, you can hear my ignorant American striking every once in a while there. The interesting thing is if you call air traffic control, they'll actually tell you it's a Junkers, but it's like, that's not what that is. But that's okay. All right, let's get going. So we don't have a GPS in here, but don't you worry. I've got the little backup GPS. Again, like I was saying before, this little GTN 750 you can get right off the internet. It's free. It's awesome. I love it. Gotta go drag this thing over somewhere useful. All right, let's get this row on a show, as my mom would say. All right, go give everybody a quick little wiggle. Whoa, I'm gonna go ahead and set the landing light. I love the landing light in this thing. It's between your legs. You have to just kind of go click, click to turn it on. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. No flaps required for this takeoff because we're nice and lightweight. Everything's been set. Looks good. Looks good. Give everybody the old victory wiggle. Awesome. All right, let's do it to it. Bella traffic. Red 64 is taking off. Runway 28 Labella. And that's it. Let's see if you can get an ultralight aircraft to take off at a distance that small. I'm pretty sure the flight model is quite bugged in this particular aircraft. Call it a hunch, if you will. But at the very least, it's pretty awesome. I'm actually going to have to turn on throttle gas here because throttle gas is required over 8,000 meters if my German is what it says here. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that button, and now we're on our way. Swing gently to the left. And this thing is so cool. I can't believe that this thing is 15 bucks. I wish all add-on aircraft were that cost effective. We're just going to kind of swing over this way. This is so cool. Good afternoon, Dr. Magic. See how everybody else is doing. And off we go. This thing's actually surprisingly fast for its size. And again, I think it's a flight model bug, but I'm going to take every advantage of it until they fix it, because you know they're going to fix it. Look at the climb rate on this thing. What the heck? That's insane. Nice. All right, we're going to head right for this huge plateau, which is right off at 12 o'clock here. Or my 12 o'clock. I don't know what your 12 o'clock is. So give that a couple blasts of trim. We're going to go ahead and flip off that landing light. You actually have to mechanically pull it back into the airplane. That's why the handle is like that. Give this thing just a tiny bit of trim. And I have to say, of all the aircraft I've flown in Microsoft Flight Simulator, this has got to be the easiest thing I've ever trimmed ever. I just don't know what about it is. Of course, we have nothing, so I'm just going to say that. Favela traffic, Red 64 is departing to the east. Just give everybody a quick little heads up. Believe it or not, with VATSIM, you can operate completely independent of air traffic controllers as long as you're not violating anybody's airspace space or anything along those lines. So as you can see, perfectly good to go here. All right, I'm going to put that away. I'm pretty sure I'm basically on course here. I got to come to the right just a tiny bit. Now, our goal today, by the way, is not only to be exploring this nice little part of Africa, but we're also going to do a little bit of sightseeing. This is when I was researching this one, trying to find something that would be a little bit different for us. I poked around the world to try to find where all the cool animals were. Some of the animals, and no matter how hard I tried, I just literally could not find them. In other parts of the world, I actually was able to locate them, so no promises, but this should be a wildlife tour. I believe the, what is it, the show? Nature Watch, I think is the equivalent. I don't remember exactly. It's been a while. Let me go ahead and update this real quick while I'm at it. Oh, look at that. I've got giraffes and elephants on the plan tonight. That's so awesome. Activating leg. Activating leg. Okie dokie. No. Well, that's flight sim for you. Oh well. We'll deal. All right, swing to this way. We have to get on top of this really, really high plateau, and then basically we're going to switch over to our kind of cruise mode for a little while here. I'm using a full power here. I'm not worried too much about this thing kind of giving out on me. Just going to confirm that my flaps are up. I love the fact that flaps in this thing, check this out. Flaps are actually, you got these little lines. You have cruise flaps in this thing. It says minus 2.5 degrees. Oh, that's so wild. Good morning, Zai. Oh, well, it's good morning for me. I'm not sure where you are right now. By the way, our time change, my life has been absurdly busy, in case you folks haven't noticed in the last month. I'm now working 2 jobs, which has been super duper fun, plus doing all this other stuff on the weekends, so it's been absolutely absurd. One thing I've not gotten a chance to do since early September is fly a real airplane, but the weather recently has been terrible. It has either been very low clouds or it has been very high winds. Like you can't pick what, you get either one, but either way, just have not flown at all. So hopefully the weather for everybody else in the world has been a little bit more polite to you. How do you make front view cam from that seat? Antonio, welcome from Italy. We chatted many ages ago, it feels like, about turbines. I can't wait. There's an F-104 that's going to be coming out very soon. That has a very awesome jet engine in it. And it is literally my favorite plane of all time is the F-104. That thing is so dangerous, which is exactly why I love it. Let's go ahead and put this away for now. Thank you very much. Go hide that one. We're just going to enjoy our little cruise here. Again, I'm not an automatic pilot. I'm just trimmed. And this thing is so easy. Zaihan says from Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong. Excellent, excellent. That's definitely a wide. If you want a fun story, when I was 13 years old, I used to deliver newspapers in a local route, so I'd have to be up extremely early in the morning. One of the downsides to being up extremely in the morning, of course, is my day ends at like 8, where most people's evening is just starting. But on the flip side, when you get back from delivering newspapers, it'd be so early that all the games I used to play, like Aliens vs. Predator, like the first one, and like Quake, like the first one, I'd all do really, really early in the morning. So I was always playing with folks from Singapore, and I was always playing with folks from, the Philippines and things like that, because that was like their evening, kind of like the prime time slot, which I always thought was just so wild. All right, we're almost up on top of our little plateau here. We're doing very, very well so far. Again, this is absolutely like incredible country, and I just love this. How it's like you got the valley, and then all of a sudden it's just flat. But it's not just flat. If you take a look at our little hole meter, if I come down here so you can take a look real quick, you can see that we're at 3.5 kilometers right now, but we're up this, and it's just like all of a sudden we're in Kansas, and I just think that's like the most wild thing here. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little tiny bit of altitude, and then I'm going to go level off and get us rolling along here, and that should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. Now, like I was saying though, being that up early in the morning, I don't know. The rest of my life has been dictated by being up stupid early. I'm just kind of used to it now. Delivering newspapers, by the way, it's an interesting experience. For those of you who have kids, if you choose to make the mistake of letting them have a paper route, it becomes your paper route. So just be kind of advised of that. That's going to happen. Now, what I'm really curious about real quick, let me see what happens if I push this button. Apparently, I'm on my way. That's super fun. Now, the interesting thing is, if you're also in VATSIM, they usually frown on formation flying, but I don't consider this being a formation. This is just all of us going in the same direction. I'm going to go ahead and throttle back a little bit and let some folks catch up. Back it down. We're supposed to be doing no more than 1850 anyway, so that's plenty. Give it a couple blasts to the trim, and I'm going to go for the automatic pilot. Oh yeah, we do. We only kind of have an automatic pilot. It's actually really neat how it works. You have this little thing over here, and what you can do is you can dial this to be your desired heading, and then it uses the rudder of the plane in order to go ahead and basically keep it in the right spot. It makes a very dramatic tick-tick noise, like how there's a clock inside the cockpit. I wonder if my other control on my joystick will work. Oh, look at that. Now we can do it perfectly. Lame. And we're going to do that. I'm going to press the heading hold button right here. And I'm going to reach down here between my legs. And it's already turned on. Interesting. Okay, apparently the automatic pilot was on. Now, the way it works is actually cool. You have your compassa, which is right here. And this little needle will shift based on how close I am to actually pointing to where I am right now. But again, the most autopilot we have is this little rudder thing. And it's supposed to make the rudder pedals move a little tiny bit. By the way, I love the rudder trim. That's the rudder trim. That's so cool. Again, ancient, but I absolutely love planes like this because they are so different. All right, I'm proceed this way. I'm doing pretty well. Okay, it's a good time to go see how everybody behind us is doing. Let's see who we recognize. TTC 70, welcome back. Bugs 8, well, welcome back. Fasthead 46, welcome back. Laughing Rug, welcome back. Wickety Smash, welcome back. Sky Life, I don't know, you must be newer. I missed you last time. Dark Sun on End Sky, also, I'm not sure. I don't remember. Oh, Reaper MD's back there. Good, welcome back again. Francis, I don't remember. I've got a bad memory sometimes. Oh, thanks, I. Very appreciated. Very appreciated. Actually, if you want something really scary, I was taking a look at those weird memberships that they're offering on YouTube now. That is, yeah, no. That is a very interesting concept, but I'm not quite sure folks who would take advantage of that. I don't know, it just seems weird. Oh, sliding off course here. A little bit of left rudder, and we'll continue. Yep. I like you have the turbo on in there right there, Antonio. That's just kind of a nice little touch. Also, congratulations, Antonio, on taking your ultralight flight. Once you have tasted flight, you will forever, be sitting there on the ground looking at the skies, or I forget exactly how the quote goes. Either way, it's the most incredible experience if you've never had a chance to fly a real plane. It is so visceral. It is so loud. The controls are so difficult to move. The plane never goes where you tell it to do. It's always windy. It's cold. It's hot. It's so different. In the simulator, everything is just so sterile and nice and relaxing. I just set my engines, I kind of do a little bit of trim, and I'm on my way. In the real world, if I set my trim and looked away, like if I had to go down to my tablet to check something, like if there's weather, I look out my window, all of a sudden now the plane's pointing down there. It's insane. That being said, in the real world, autopilot is amazing. It is nothing as bad as it is in the simulator. Simulator autopilot is just wrong. Oh, that's so much fun. So much fun. Okay, I'm not touching anything. All right, we're on our way. Put that all away, put that all away. All right, so the way this works is going to be super cool. Basically, you have this very, very large plateau, and you have a bunch of these rivers, which if you want to go all the way up through Egypt here, basically go all the way down to teeny tiny mode. The first one we're going to see is going to cut through the valley. I can't help but think of Indiana Jones, because you think about, like the Canyon of the Crescent Moon kind of a thing. Like you get these amazing, like somebody just took a razor blade and cut right through this plateau, straight north-south. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over this one. I know it's real tempting to do. If you have the power for it, feel free to dive into it, do one of those, and then pop out the other side like you're on a little roller coaster, like this kind of emotion. I'm not going to do that because I don't have a stunt plane for it. But instead, where our giraffes are actually going to be are right after this second plateau, and they're going to be right here in the corner up here. Frank Sonata Media asks, is it real air traffic control anything like this in? So Frank, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it's Frank or Frank. I'm going to get that one wrong no matter what I say here. Real world ATC tends to be more forgiving and less forgiving at the same time, but it's vastly less formal in the real world. If I got called in for, let's say I want to do a flight following from somewhere, and I went taxi at the same time, I do something like Harvard Grounds, Warrior 213 Quebec is at Harvard Jet Center, requesting taxi to the active as well as flight following to Dutchess County at an altitude of 3,500. And they'll say, we'll get that for you. And it's like, oh, okay. And then they'll be like, are you ready to copy? It's like, no, I'm a little busy right now. I'm like, all right, call us when you're ready. And that would be like the actual conversation you would have with the air traffic control. And the other thing, too, is they'll actually say some pretty funny things. Oh, my gosh, look at this. Oh, my gosh. That is so cool. Oh, my gosh, look at that. I'm sorry, that's just... I got beside myself here. Oh, my gosh. That is amazing. It's like Grand Canyon, Ethiopia here. Look at that. Could you imagine? Oh, I'm going to go on a bike ride. What? Whee! What? That's amazing. All right, we're going to keep on going here. Cassio says, I missed the flight. That's okay. Like I said, we got a weird time of day this year because, like I said, I had to work yesterday, so I was not able to do that on a Saturday like we typically do. That's so cool. I'm sorry. I don't know. I was gushing. Oh, slightly off course again. This plane really wants to go left, which means, or right, which means I need one click of left trim. That should be enough. Time to go ahead and take a look at my temperatures. Let's see how we're doing here. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's a little warm. That's a little warm. That's a little warm. Good, 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 good. Actually, we could probably crack the cow flaps a little tiny bit. I like how you have one set of temperatures for your oil and you have one set of temperatures for your cylinders, and then you have two separate sets of controls here. Like right now, everything is on zoo, which is basically means closed. So what I will do though is I'll crack open the motor valve just a little tiny bit. Not that it's hot, but it could get if I sit here at this speed this entire time. All right, just taking a look real quickly here. Everything looks good. We're starting to get a little bit of altitudes. Yeah. So, Frank, one thing you got to watch out for with the real world is flying is terribly expensive, and you're at the mercy of the wind and the weather. Like I said, I've had to cancel 94% of my last flights because of weather. And the weather is something like, oh, it's 15-knot winds. And that's like enough to cancel your flight because you know that if it gets worse, you can't get on the ground. If it gets better, okay, so I missed a chance to go flying. It's just such a different attitude, whereas in the sim, we can just go, whoa, I got a call. Somebody just asked me for my stream. Stand by. I've never been asked before. Boy, how am I going to send this stream? I've never got this question before. Wait one. Hold on. Zehan, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Zehan. No, this is not real world weather. This is regular. Give me just half a second. I just received a PM on VATSIM. One of the people are asking for this one. Give me just half a second so I can answer this guy's question. Oh, we have giraffes to look at, by the way, so we got to get a little bit lower. Yes, I know they're giraffe. Not giraffes, but too bad. I'm just a loser. Copy link. Post this right here. And we're good. Okay, cool. I've answered the guy's question. Neat. All right, here we go. All right, time to look at some giraffes. Let's do it. All right, so I'm going to swing to my left just a little bit. Now, when I first did this mission, I thought that the giraffes were down here, and I had to pull my aircraft out of the way and try to get over this mountain range before I ran out of energy. But it turns out I didn't need to because they're actually in the second valley right behind it. But like I said, I can't guarantee they'll be there. I'm just going to do the best. Oh, there they are right there. Nice! All right, going down. Now, this is a time when your co-pilot, of course, would be reading over to the Motorhaupt and basically cranking these things closed because this thing will cool off real fast. Now, the interesting thing is if I push the nose down, I sort of expect this little needle to shrink downwards as the oil basically kind of sloshes forward in the tank, but I don't know how thick that oil is, so I'm not actually sure what that will do. I've been told real-world weather if possible because it's a beautiful sunset. All right, let's hook us up. Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this, and I want to do this. Close that. That's glorious. Unfortunately, I gotta turn my lights on. There we go. Oh, that is very pretty. Oh, I didn't realize there was a highway there. Look at that. That is so cool. I'm sorry, but sometimes this is truly beautiful. And I always like to joke, this is why we fly kind of a thing. All right, back down we go. Swing to the left just a little bit here. And we're just gonna make our way down. This is an English speaker's joke, but this never gets old, I'm sorry. I've got 175. It's funny, when my dad went to Germany for the first time, he was very fascinated by the German word for exit on the Autobahn. And it was just one of those things where it's like, all right, get over it, get over it. Oh man, look at this. This is so beautiful. It's like the way everything gets crusted here. This is amazing. This would scare me in the real world, flying into a valley like this in any form of airplane, even if it was a jet, because I know that if I get down, I might not be able to get back up. But too bad, we're going to go down and take a look at the giraffe anyways. I'll flip my lights back off because I don't need them. There we go. And we're just going to make our way right down here. A little bit of turbulence off the top of the ridge. Doesn't surprise me. Look at this! I'm sorry, but that's the picture. Because that's just awesome. Oh my god, that is amazing. Oh, I love that. I gotta zoom in a little bit because that is just like, hold steady, and there's the picture. Awesome! Thank you. That was awesome. All right, I'm going to turn the lights a little bit back up because I do not want to miss the beautiful giraffes here. Giraffes, by the way, are my family's favorite animal. My family, by the way, I mean my wife and I. Whenever we get a chance to see a giraffe or we can find a giraffe like in a store, we always buy it for each other. So as a result, I have a closet. I'm going to slip the plane, by the way. I'm coming in too fast here. As a result, we have a closet full of stuffed giraffes in our house. I mean, we've got some that are like 6 feet tall, and we have some like little like decoupage giraffes and stuff like that. All right, let's see if we can get them. Oh no, don't you disappoint me, giraffes. Oh no, they're not here. There they are! Start, if you can start humming the word, the Jurassic Park theme. Yes, I know the ground's right there. Go, 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 go. I just got a bank, I'm sorry. These giraffes are incredibly scared of us, I'm sure, because we're making all these loud brumbly noises, and they're just like chilling down there. Look at that. Does this count as a point turn if the point keeps moving? That is so cool. I feel like I'm going to crash into a mountain now. I better pay attention to what I'm doing. Ah, that is so cool. I'm sorry. I'm gushing again. It's just one of those mornings. It's a Sunday morning. It's a relaxing day. Right there. That's so cool. All right, let's go find some elephants. Full power. Right foot. Right foot. Okay, we're good. I'll go ahead and close up the window there. You don't need to hear that deafen you anymore. And we're on our way. That was cool. I'll reline myself up a little bit here. I am cheating using GPS and not traditional navigation means, but I did not bring a navigator with me, and this is literally, this is what we got to work with. So, like I said, I'm cheating a little today, but that's all right. Stuck behind us. That's so amazing. Hopefully everybody liked the beautiful giraffes, and we're going to go take a look at the elephants, and we're going to try really hard not to smack into any mountains on our way. Frank said, we're from Australia, and the signs would say Ausfahrt or Ausgang. Yep. Again, I'm a terrible, ignorant American again. And one of my favorite ones, too, is a lot of car names in the United States. If you say them in other languages, the car name ends up being something kind of naughty. And I always thought that was kind of funny. one of those things. Why would you name it the Honda Jazz? That doesn't go so well in some languages, but like language is just wonderful that, you could go, it's our first contact with an alien species, and, we finally are able to figure out what the translation for how are you is, and we desperately attempt to do the how are you, and we find out that we got one writer and said, we go on a date with me or something like that, and it ends up being like the biggest disaster ever or something like that. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible person. I really, really, really am. Now, if you really want to have some fun, if your mastery of English and slang is very good, there's a lot of interesting names for towns, especially in the American West, especially if you get to kind of like the northeast corner of things that would be like, okay, that could be misinterpreted as not what it means. But again, like I think it's so much fun. Oh, awesome, Jake. Oh, you're the one who was asking me. Oh, so you hunted me down. Oh, Jake, by the way, was the one who had just messaged me and asked me where we're streaming from here. And I said, hey, this seems like a good opportunity. I'm still legal on VATSIM, by the way. I'm not like on an IFR flight plan or anything like that. I just need to make sure I make the proper calls when I get to the next airport, which will be in, call it 25 minutes or so. It's not too far away from where the elephants are, so it's going to be a pretty easy flight. This is amazing. Like, this is the highway. I feel sorry for the guy who's got to like shovel that thing, although I don't know that they necessarily have shoveling issues here. Go ahead and bring the nose down just a tiny bit here, and we are on our way once again. Go ahead and take a look at all our temps. Let's see how we're doing. I can't wait until we get something like a 377 or something like that, or like one of those old Boeings, like a 247, where you really, really got to play with the cow flaps the whole flight. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Look up my window. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That's good, that's good, that's good. It's a little warm. Time is good. Pressure's good. All right, on our way. Swing around to my left a little bit. We just got clear of this mountain. I'm so impressed with this aircraft, although I doubt you could ever fly it the way that I'm flying it right now. We get just a few more of these. Let's see here. A little bit of flight. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Bring the nose down just a tiny bit. And we are on our way. Perfect. Now, I think it's interesting, for those of you who played the Silent Hunter series, 1, 2, 3 kind of a thing like that, and I think the 5th one as well, you could do the U-boats, and they always had the German-speaking crews, which was super duper cool. So the only German I know comes from basically those submarines, but it's interesting because it's Tiefe is going to be depth. So we have Fout, apparently is going to be airspeed, and I will not be able to pronounce that correctly, so I'm not even going to try. But I appreciate the fact that this instrument here, Steekt and Synced, is basically the same as it is on the U-boat. I just think that's super cool that they're so consistent. All right, I'm going to go ahead and back my throttle down a little bit, let everybody go ahead and catch back up with me. I'll come down to a more reasonable speed here. That looks pretty good right about there, about 1900 on the revolutions per minute. Go ahead and adjust my mixture just a tiny bit. Nice. All right, we're on our way. I believe that button's supposed to be pushed in, but I'm not going to touch it. Okay, let's go ahead and confirm our navigational stuff here. Oop, a little off to the side here. Just a little tiny bit. Little tiny bit. Excellent. And we are lined up perfectly and on our way once again. And again, the trim on this thing is like, I'm just using one fingertip to fly this plane. It's as much as it needs, and I am so impressed with that. It's kind of like the 152 in that regard. All right, looks pretty good. And don't touch anything. Don't touch it. Nice. All right, we're on our way. Okay, that is... I'm sorry, but this is so, like, intimidating. Good thing we don't have the big flag on the back, or I wouldn't have endorsed this. We'd have to have flown something else today. Pull the nose down just a little bit. Now, the interesting thing is when I was researching for this flight, trying to find where in Africa we were going to fly, we had a lot of stuff in further south of Africa. I didn't realize that this far up had quite this much mountainous. Because, of course, when I found originally, I found some hippopotami, but they're all chilling underwater, and I couldn't see them, and it was an interesting experience. How to settings when you speak as background sound is decreased, sir. Okay, so I'll let you in on a little teeny tiny secret. Some people really hate that, by the way. But let me shoot you to a really, really quick little dark secret here. This is what I see. But under settings, I'm sorry, not under settings, but under my voice controls here, if you actually come down here and you go to filters, this is what I do to my voice here. Notice it's got like a limiter and a compressor. But on the audio coming out, if you actually take a look under filters, what I have is a compressor, and the compressor is linked to my voice. So if I stop talking, the compressor shuts off. If I start talking, the compressor automatically kicks in and basically takes the audio ratio and drops it all the way down to 0. So now you can actually watch my levels. Notice when I'm talking, you can barely hear anything. But if I stop talking, you can see it spikes right back up. And again, that's customizable. It makes some people crazy, but I kind of like it the way it is, and I'm not going to change it. Hippopotami. Thanks, Renee. You're absolutely right. Again, ignorant American here, and I'm proud of it. Well, actually, I'm not really proud of it. It's super embarrassing when I was traveling through Italy one time, and basically, oh, where are you from? And it's like you're really tempted to say, oh, I'm from Canada, or something like that, because it's just like our way to kind of get around it, sort of a thing. Group flyover hippopotami. I love that, Renee. But unfortunately, it's like, I own up to it usually. All right, so now we're going to get to the quiet part of the flight. Basically, we're going to be cruising along this. That was the Blue Nile, by the way, in case anybody's curious. Famous for its diamonds, I believe, is what my thing. Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of make my way down this way. And again, this is all wonderful, wonderful land. It's just amazing to think we went from this plateau where everybody lived to this wonderful place where it just kind of gets nice and quiet, nice and relaxed. You've got a couple of things like that. Yep. So Zihan, again, everybody's got a different way of doing it. That's the way that I chose to do it. Some people just turn the volume and game down, but I find that doesn't work for every game. Like if I'm playing Command and somebody launches a missile or something like that, I need to be able to talk over that and not suddenly get deafened by it. From Indonesia with love. Lazy Pilot, we've been hoping to fly in Indonesia for a while because it's, again, a beautiful country and it's got a million little teeny tiny little islands. I've just had the heck of a time trying to find a flight that wasn't too long or a flight that wasn't spending too much time over water, which was something I'm always watching out for. All right, our speed looks good. My trim looks good. All right, let's go double check my navigation real fast. It looks like we're about 10 minutes out for some elephants, and then it's going to be about 7 minutes from that point to go ahead and put us on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and swing us to left just a tiny bit here. There we go. Looking good, looking good. I'll go swing back to the nice beauty landing in a second there. Now, I sort of miss having like the G1000 or the G3000, so I could know that I'm about to smack into that. Instead, you have to play this game instead, where you kind of just sort of sit low in the chair, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to smack into that. Yeah, that's what I was going to do, Zion. We're going to do, again, I love the fact that you can just cheat like this. Let's do that. Nice. Put that away. And now just enjoy it. I'm actually going to flip on my lights inside, so it makes it a little bit easier for me. By the way, for those of you who are new to this aircraft, the light box is actually behind your head. I love the fact that my beacon light is my Blitzlicht. That's just awesome. Oh, this is so cool. I'm just going to enjoy the nice relaxing part. I'd love to check how much fuel I have, but that's wishful thinking. I don't know. My brain is trying to interpret which one of these lines is the actual line we need to use. So we can always just cheat and hit this button. I got plenty. I feel like I need to increase visibility by hitting my landing lights or something like that. You guys are having way too much fun with that formation flying back there. This is interesting. I'm getting an indicated speed of 102 knots, but I'm getting a ground speed of about 126. So we're moving pretty good. One thing that I did do recently is I managed to get myself, I mentioned this a little while ago, a couple of those flight information panels. I actually picked up a program called SPAD, which I really should probably do a video on, that displays instrumentation on these little screens, and I can push buttons and everything, and it's actually really, really cool. Climb up just a teeny tiny bit. I'm actually going to add a couple extra RPM here. There we go. Go double check our temps. They have not changed at all, so that means I'm not changing them either. I just want to get over this little crazy mountain right there. Imagine if one of these engines just started belching black smoke out the back or something like that. That'd be nerve-wracking, I think. Now, for my German speakers, could somebody help me out with this? What does this mean? All right, Zihan had just mentioned, just a suggestion, go from Singapore, fly through the Malacca Strait and reach, oh my gosh, Phuket, Thailand on the next stream. That's not a bad idea. I've actually thought of doing some stuff out in that direction anyway recently. We did Vietnam a little while ago, and I really, really enjoyed that with the Icon, so it would be in this one. Stefan Bunt, can you tell us what the purpose of that is? I actually couldn't figure it out. All right, definitely a pressure reducing valve for sure. wonder what that's for. Is that to like release the oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Altitude. Altitude. Let's kind of come swing along this way a little bit. And now just look at how the terrain has changed. While we do have these crazy mountains and we don't have all the rivers anymore, this just becomes pure stuff. And for those of you who have not noticed it, what our altitude is currently, we're at 3.5 kilometers right now, which is quite a bit. We usually don't fly this high. Yeah, I'm not sure what that one is, Jerry. My initial thought was that it's something to do with the pneumatics, but I don't know what on this aircraft requires pneumatics. I know that we've got the flaps, but I believe the flaps are mechanical, because if you actually come down here and look, your flap lever is this wheel, and what you do is there's this clutch, and you release the clutch, and then you can adjust the flaps just by pushing that button back and forth. It's actually really cool how that works, but you don't need pneumatics for that. So that's why I can't figure out what the darn thing does. Get power back a little bit. Look this way. How are we doing? Oh, swing it to the right just a little bit. It's nice to think that Garmin has developed a GPS so accurate it can tell you where elephants are located. Yeah. Thank you for your help, Stefan. I could not find that one, and nobody's documentation is nearly good enough that I could locate. And of course, Microsoft doesn't tell you what to do. It's just there. Zaihan, that's from sea level. Correct. Yes. So fortunately for us, I don't have to worry that bad. Now, the interesting thing is that I love this. My kilometers, as in my full kilometers, is a separate altimeter from my parts of a kilometer, which I think is amazing. That's such a cool trick. So this would basically be meters. This is point of a kilometer, and this is the actual. I think that's actually kind of handy, except for the fact now it's 2 instruments. I'm going to swing this way. I got, for those of you who don't speak kilometer like me, it's around 11,003. Oh, look at this. We're starting to get towards civilization again. You can definitely tell because the number of these little farms and houses where people just kind of park themselves has gone up quite a bit. But like I said, we're up over 11,000 feet here, which is more than enough to require some form of oxygen without the massive headache that kind of comes with it afterwards. Kind of look over here, look down. Oh, that's so cool. All right, prepare to see some elephants. Straighten things out a little bit. I'm actually going to turn the lights back down. All right. That's just fun. See how we're doing. I think it's right on my left. Right on my left. Interesting thing is I don't have to call the VATSIM folks until we get ready to land the plane, which is, like I said, about 15 minutes out or so. Swing around this way. Oh, Dark Sun's cut me off. Nicely done, Dark Sun. Uh-oh, we found the elephants. Elephants spotted. This is the first time I've ever flown with notifications in the history of me flying flight sim, I swear. I'm starting to feel like we're getting a little slow. I'm actually going to increase my RPM a tiny bit, adjust my mixture. And let's get back on my way here. That is so intimidating. This is exactly what the good folks over at Microsoft intended. By the way, there's going to be a world update coming up very soon. A sim update, rather. I think it's a sim update 6 coming out relatively soon. So get ready for all your favorite add-ons to be broken. I think my favorite bug that Microsoft introduced so far is when you put the flaps down, they work too well, and it causes the plane to do a front flip. Oh, I missed that. Fat Pegasus, welcome. Swinging this way, looking pretty good. This is the relaxing part of the flight. I'm hoping the elephants are going to be easy to find. We'll see when we get there, I guess. Oh man, this aircraft is not liking this continuous climb here. Take a look. Looks pretty good. Oh, there's Frank Sinatra. Just like, oh, Frank Sinatra. Oh, I get it. I get it. Clever. A much smarter pilot version of me would probably try to go this way around this mountain rather than trying to go up the side of this mountain like I'm doing right now. But, hey, I like direct flying. My other problem, too, is that once we do get on the other side of this mountain, wherever our buddy elephants are going to be parked, they're probably going to be like in a little pool, walking like between some valley or something. So when we finally do get there, we're going to have to go, and kind of do one of those to get our way down to the ground. But hey, like I said, it's flight sim. You don't have to worry about things like, damaging the front windshield because you're going too fast or something like that. Surprised I haven't burnt more oil. Sort of surprised by that. Take a look out there. That wing's used the same amount of oil. Let's take a look at the oil on this one. That one's used the same amount. That's awesome. Now, the cool thing is I'm keeping this plane straight just with my feet right now because that's as much work as it really takes. And that's a little more right foot. Of course, the passengers don't usually appreciate that very much. But hey, what are they going to do? Now, one of the people originally were asking, why don't you do this with the modern version of this plane? Because the modern one has the correct flight model. It's no fun. All right, let's take a look. It's way too slow. All right, I think what we're looking for is going to be right in here, if I had to guess. Actually, no, it isn't. It's got to be in the other side of this. There's no way somebody would have elephants in the backyard. We shall find out when we get there, I suppose. And bring us down just a little bit. Bring the power back just a tiny bit here. We're ripping along way past the recommended speed. I'm getting 142 over the ground, though. That's pretty impressive. 13,000 feet. That's impressive. I'm guessing they're not in that guy's backyard, but we'll find out in just a second. And then we're going to swing around, get ready for our landing. Yep. All right, here we go. Nice and low, nice and low. Back my power out even more. I'm going to go down to 1,800 on the revolutions per minute. Actually, I'll bring it down even more than that. Let's go down to 1,600. There we go. This plane will get real quiet. I'm not seeing them right away. Tweak, tweak, tweak. Yeah, I think they're on the other side of this hill. Sorry. I imagine this guy's just looking out his window and a bunch of German planes, like 30 general aviation planes, goes ripping by, and it's like, what is that? Did I just miss them, or we're just not close enough yet? Yeah, I guarantee you they're on the other side of this mountain. Because I'm pretty confident that that little white delivery van is not an elephant. I mean, maybe it's a type of aircraft, or a type of car, but I know there's an elephant tank. Okay, it says this right there. Oh, where is it? Anybody see it? Anybody see it? I did not see it unless anybody else did. I'm going to take one more pass. Just in case. I do not see it. I'm like zooming. Did we not get close enough? No, I guess we kind of hit the fauna limit inside of Flight Sim, and they won't allow us to see anything else cool. Oh, that's depressing. Either that or that elephant is actually in the shape of, I guess you could call it a power line. Maybe it's a new disguise, like a camouflage kind of a thing, like a chameleon. I don't think so, though. Bummer. Oh, well. Exactly, Renee. Now, there's an elephant, and that's a tank that actually has wheels. That's in South Africa, though. That wouldn't be up here in North Africa like we have here. All right, I'm not seeing them. So maybe if you're seeing them, you're seeing them. Other than that, I think we're just going to kind of take ourselves back in. Sorry, we got bad information. The Elephant Society basically provided us with a decoy, so we wouldn't locate them. Did you enable it in the settings? Falcon, you missed earlier. We actually did see giraffe. It's just sometimes the fauna does not appear for whatever reason inside the sim. It's fine. It's just one of those things that just comes up from time to time. All right, 1950 RPM, and let's make our way to our final destination. About 8 nautical miles, or I should say 8 minutes away. It's about 20 nautical miles. I'll go ahead and make the call in just a minute. Absolutely. The sidechain's okay. Some people don't like it. Some people love it. Some people think I overdo it. Personally, I like it the way it is. I'm not changing it. I mean, one of the fun things it means is if I do one of these, kind of sounds like that. But the thing is, I don't have to raise my voice because my voice is the same volume, but the engine's just got quieter. I don't know. I just think it's cool. All right, let's land this sucker. Remember that I'm still in VATSIM here, believe it or not. I'm going to go ahead and make the call. I believe I'm on the wrong freak, though. Make sure I got this frequency set correctly. I don't trust it. 12280. I just want to make sure this is accurate. Right. I don't trust this radio. I really don't. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Our arrival destination is going to be Kombolcha. Kombolcha traffic, red 64 is 60 miles to the west, inbound into a left traffic for runway 35 Kombolcha. All right, we've made our call. We're good to go. This has been fun. This has actually been a really relaxing flight today. That's the thing I love about Sundays. I'm just not in a rush to be. Oh, by the way, welcome back, Wickety Smash. We haven't seen you in a while. And we're just going to make our way through this valley here and come park down on the ground and stick the thing real quickly. Yeah, absolutely. I'll go put this away. I know exactly where I'm going. So this is going to be pretty wild because, as you probably noticed, the amount of people that we see in houses and things have slowly increased as we've been traveling here. What's going to happen is you're going to go down and you're going to have this massive valley down here. There's just going to be basically like a city just parked in the middle of this massive mountain range. It's just wild. It's like a Salt Lake City kind of a thing. Going to my left a little bit. I'll reduce RPM. We do need to make our way down to the ground at some point here. behind me. It's always kind of fun to double check to see how is this looking right now. Boop. Oh, didn't do it right. Try that. Nice. It even tells me how far I need to go. That's so cool. That's VATSIM for you. All right, let's make our way down. Now, the weirdest thing ever is for those of you who use like NavMap or something like that, there's probably going to be 2 copies of me. There's going to be me who's flying, and then there's going to be me, the record on VATSIM of me who's flying. It's just kind of a fun concept. All right, we're definitely getting close. I think we're going to end up a little bit close. Geez. If my calculation's roughly correct, I think the problem we're going to run into here is when we show up, we're going to be more of in a base than we are going to be in a left downwind. So I'm actually going to I'm going to swing over to the right a little bit. Exactly, I'm going to swing this way. Kombolcha traffic, red 64 is 14 miles to the southwest. We're going to go for a very, very long left base, and then we're going to do straight in for tree 5 Kombolcha. All right, I have made my call. I have done my due diligence. Come this way just a little bit. All right, this should be perfect. All right, let's do it. So basically what we're going to do is the runway, if you look really, really carefully, is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around this mountain and we're going to do straight in. One of the things I don't like about this aircraft, and I feel sorry for the folks who are behind me right now, if you're in one of these, you have to slow down tremendously, tremendously early. Otherwise, you'll never be able to do a 3-point landing with it. Personally, I'm a 2-point lander when I can. But again, works really, really, really well. All right, let's go ahead and get ready for landing. Let's make sure all my checklists and stuff are good to go. Okay, I can't see between my legs here. Come on. There it is. Click, click. Now my landing lights are on. Again, that's a mechanical thing. We're going to go shut off throttle gas. And I'm not too worried about it at this time. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that. Let's set my mixture set correctly. Looks good, looks good. Fuel tank, everything's all set in that regard. I'm not going to cover that. We're good. Plenty of oil. Everything else is fine. Excellent. So basically, we are in the world's longest base leg here. This is a left base for tree 5. The interesting thing is, if we had air traffic control, they'd probably say fly straight in and just give us a really, really tiny, short left base. But we're just going to do the world's longest left base, so we have plenty of time to slow this thing down. Yep, like I said, our runway is going to be right in here. You can't miss it. Now, in the real world, visibility doesn't look like this. Visibility would be like to the end of this tree right here, and that would be it. But hey, I'm going to take what I got as an advantage here. Okay, Jerry Weird Speed has given us a report. The pressure valve system seems to be part of the propeller pitch adjustment hydraulic. It's trying to adjust the pitch to match a certain RPM independent for the throttle setting. Oh, so it's a hydraulic. Okay, so the RPM on these propellers must be, the pitch on the propellers must be variable, and that system must be a way to adjust it. Wow. That would be interesting if that's exactly what that's for. Field elevation. Let me get that for you. Field elevation is... Let me check it for you. Field elevation is 60901 feet plus 1,000. So the field elevation is going to be 7,100 feet. So it's pretty substantial. It's pretty substantial. All right, looking out of my little window here. We really got to start slowing down because we're going to be fabulously high here. Now, if I were a dangerous seeking person, I'd try to go through this little gap here and line myself up with the rest of the runway. But I'm actually going to be correct this time and use this mountain as my little pivot point. Oh, this is going to be crazy. Okay, so I can't see out through my propeller because the sun is right behind me. Put my lights off. I don't need that right now. All right. So for those of you who like to make this fun, try a 3-point landing. For those of you who want to be a little more old-fashioned, try to do a 2-point landing. Again, that assumes that you have a tail dragger condition like I do here. More of an emergency valve then. Thanks, Jerry. That's a great research. So now we know. So basically, don't touch it. Got it. I would imagine if the propellers accidentally went straight to coarse pitch or something like that, you would need that valve probably as a way to cancel it. Although one thing I do notice is if I change this, my RPM changes with it, which I would expect would not if it's a constant speed. So it must be some kind of variable pitch maybe. Just cool tech either way. All right, let's swing around this way. I should be able to see the runway in just a moment. This would be so intimidating. Like you're just like sitting there and all of a sudden all these like, big scary German World War II planes just come kind of wheeling in here. And there's the runway like I planned. Darkstein, you got the right idea. All right, let's kill the power and make our way down. Kombolcha traffic, red 64 is 7 miles to the south and bound straight in, runway 35 Kombolcha. And I've done my little diligence here. Now, the scary thing is if any of you are also in VATSIM, you'd be hearing me say that, but that's okay. And like I said, you can always do VATSIM without any air traffic controllers. It's just a way to get some more interesting traffic. That looks good to me. I think I'm pretty sure I can do this. But like I was saying a few minutes ago, look at the difference in the amount of buildings as fast as you cross out of those mountain ranges there. And there is a lovely, lovely ground. Airspeed, I'm doing about 210. That's plenty. It'd be neat if I had a throttle quadrant that had 3 handles instead of just the 2. So instead you get something like this. Doesn't quite work. All right, let's line ourselves up. Should probably do before landing checklist, should we? I always feel like I'm going to miss something. Q&H, checked. Fuel tank selector, checked. Flaps is required. Carburetor heat is off. Carburetor heat is off. It was off before. Landing, idle, directional control maintained, brake supply if required. All right, let's do it. Let's see here, we're looking at 4 miles to the south. Kombolcha traffic, red 64 is 4 miles to the south. Inbound straight in approach for runway 25 Kombolcha. All right, there it is. Pull that throttle all the way back. At this point, my co-pilot would be grabbing onto the little handles for the Motorhaube and basically cranking it closed as fast as they can so that we can get this thing somewhat slowed down to be able to put this on the ground safely. And I see everybody else beat me because you all have aircraft that you can land at any time. I'm actually going to have to slip the plane in order to slow it down. Okie dokie. Come on. Slow down. Slow down. There's 160. Thank you. All right. I'm sure the passengers all just went, ah, as I got smacked up against the window there. All right. Hand on the throttle. Our approach speed here is going to be about 110 on the kph. If you're doing a 3-pointer, your final touchdown speed is going to be about 80. If you're trying to do a 2-pointer like me, my touchdown speed is going to be right around 100, which should be pretty good. Let me just confirm everything looks good. Looks good. We're getting a formation Junkers landing here, which is just unbelievably awesome. I'm just so proud of you guys. It's awesome. So awesome. All right, let's line it up. Double check to make sure your lights are all nice and on. My airspeed is literally perfect for this approach. I'm just can't get enough up trim. Give it a couple of bursts of RPM here. Looks good. I wonder how bad the effect of the prop wash on the wings would be on this aircraft. Doing 120. Come to the right. Kombolcha traffic, red 64, short final, tree 5, Kombolcha. And somebody's already on the runway here. And there's a crosswind. All right, we're going to put the wing down. We're going to kick the right foot. And we're going to come to the right a little bit. Doing a little bit of wing low here. There we go. And now we're starting to get slow. This is suddenly requiring concentration. Under knots, getting slow. 100 kilometers per hour, rather. Stand by for screaming passengers. In the real world, you get a bunch of turbulence as you go over the trees. All right, reduce power. I'm going to do a 2-pointer here. So basically what you do is you fly down to the ground, trim forward. Trim forward. Uh-oh. That wind is a lot stronger than I was anticipating. Back tire down. That's 2 wheels. So we're going to hold up the 2 wheels. I'm actually going to push the control forward. And we're just going to use our rudder to get nice and close. Pull the nose up a little bit. Oh, you guys all beat me. Well, aren't you special? All right, folks, we'll go take our little victory picture, actually, although I'm really tempted to take... I think this time what I'm going to do is stay with that picture I used in the air because I got everybody in that picture anyway. I'll go do my little victory kind of twist here. So as always, when we get to the end of one of our lovely flights here, I'd like to do a quick little Q&A. Does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to do as far as future videos? I've got some stuff coming out this week that's going to be dealing with a little bit of... a couple weird approaches, things like brake approaches and stuff like that. I've got a piece about missed approach coming out as well. But is there anything anybody would like to see more of, see less of? Maybe something we can do for a future flight. Somebody was mentioning earlier visiting Indonesia or Singapore. I totally agree with that. I think that's definitely something I would love to do. I think it's about time. By the way, look at how cranked up my elevator trim is right now. You know, I thought I had it bad, but that's just ridiculous. That's so cool. I don't know. I'm going to have to stick with this picture because it's like, where else are you going to get a picture like that? All right, the picture's been taken. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my little victory takeoff here and smack into the ground. Favorite plane in Microsoft at the moment? Oh, that is such a tough question, Stefan. If somebody took all my airplanes away from me and left me with one plane, it would have to be the TBM 930. I just love that plane. It's fast, it's slow, it's easy to handle, it's interesting without being too easy. The mechanics on it are really nice. It sounds beautiful, especially in the rain. It's stable. I think it's really, really cool. Sonata said, pick up fight sim, informative style, and you'll fly missions while role playing. I love that. That's excellent. All right. So if that is their final question, let's go find something really, really nasty to crash the plane into. Oh, I got it. Here we go. I'm not crashing into buildings because that's called terrorism. Okay, here we go. Again, if you have any last-minute questions, feel free to throw them out there. Otherwise, I think I found something that will be interesting to go swimming in. Oh boy, this aircraft doesn't like this. I'm doing 50 knots right now. This is unsafe. Gotta love an airliner that has the same stall speed as a Cessna 152. That's just fun. Oh, I should probably disconnect from VATSIM. Whoopsies. All right. No other questions? Excellent. Again, as always, thanks everybody for joining us today. I hope you guys had a good time. This was a very relaxing flight. This is a beautiful part of the country. Sorry we did not get to see any elephants, but I think the elephants, they take them in for the evening, so unfortunately we didn't have a chance to see them. One of the fun things I can do here is I can play with this. 1, 2, 3. Look at me, I'm going. By the way, having that button on your joystick is the greatest thing ever when you're recording videos, because all you have to do is press one button and then whoosh, you can quickly readjust yourself and go fly around or something along those lines. That looks good right there. Oh yeah. It's actually funny you say that because we literally just did that last time. Dun 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 dun. Oh no! Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody. Enjoy, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Enjoy.